In this school situation, and especially something like medical school, which is an unending, dramatic drain on the human psyche, you need every assistance you can get. Well, so you're taking some medication for it, but that to me is good judgment. It's like, do you want to walk around trying to climb a hill with a backpack full of rocks, or do you want to remove the backpack and at least you have a better chance of getting up the hill without being so burdened?
As a young, fifth grade, I remember I forget the project, and I think it was on like Madagascar or something.
Yeah.
And it was an issue for me from the time I was little, getting those projects done.
A lot of ADDers have trouble with prioritizing. So, well, what should I do first? And you can scatter things around so much that you don't do anything. A lot of people kind of wait till the last minute to study for a test, and that emergency mode that they go into is probably the only way that they can actually get the stuff done, unless they're on medication, because the emergency mode, unless the fear of failure just cripples you, you can at least get something accomplished at the last minute, because it mobilizes neurotransmitters in the brain that are just like what the medication does, like you're pumping more dopamine because it's a crisis. One of the hallmarks, the underpinnings of what we think of as self-esteem is an awareness that you've achieved something.
I'm influenced by people's belief in me. What got me to go away to school initially was having an interest in martial arts and in fighting.
Yeah, talk to me about that. What was that?
Well, I had some great teachers, and they encouraged me in that way. And it was a positive encouragement.
Was the martial arts kind of a building block for you in terms of self-esteem?
Oh yeah, it became my identity. I was encouraged and I was told that I had a heart. When I had my first fight, I was just petrified. I had two teachers, Chris and Ray. Chris was a positive. He was the only male role model that I had. He had given me a card that said that, your mind and your body, they quit in the first round, but that's when your spirit took over. Maybe little did he know that the effect would be a whole lifetime of gratitude for teaching me what to be. It's the mind, body, spirit connection. And that became like the whole meaning of life. That became my whole identity, like, wow, I'm a fighter. It was more important outside the ring to say that, well, I'm going to try my hardest to do that, with regards to what I come across in life. Fall down, get up, fall down, get up. To try, and to not quit.
Keep trying.
Keep trying.
There's something bigger than winning the fight. There's something
absolutely
that transcends all of this.
Having the mentality of a fighter.
That's one of the ways that you can help somebody, especially with ADD. You find an area that they have a talent in, that they can really do well in, whether it's a sport or whether it's art or something creative, and you encourage them. And those are the building blocks of self-esteem. And then hopefully it has kind of a ripple effect. It spreads to other areas, just as your interest in martial arts did for you, that as you feel better and more whole as a person, and you found out about having heart, that you could extend that whole self-concept to be part of who you are forever. And I think that's a good thing.
And that's why I always come back to the right kind of encouragement, positive encouragements that I've gotten. Somebody has no idea, if they tell me something good, they have no idea that I carry it forever.
How do you transfer over to coming to believe in yourself?
It's always a work in progress.
That's right. That's a good answer.
I'll always have that wanting to do better.
I spoke to an airline pilot who he wanted to be a fighter pilot, and he noticed he was flunking out of school, but he wanted to go to the Naval Academy and be a fighter pilot. So he worked real hard for it, and he got to the Naval Academy and became a fighter pilot, and later he became an airline captain. So I asked him, I said, well, if a lot of you guys that are flying the fighters are ADD. And he said, yeah, like 90% of us are, because we're excitement junkies. I said, well, if a lot of you guys are having academic problems, how do you ever get to be in the cockpit of the plane? And he said, because we want to do it more than anything else in the world. And there goes the motivation factor. And I think that's exactly what happened in your case.
Motivation to do something, but encouragement. And that's what I always tell you, I'm grateful to you for. You met me struggling in my early stages of the academic portion. He said, what if we could give you this ability to handle these things that you're struggling with? Would you still try to do it? And apparently I did still want to do it.
What message do you have for young people who are just learning about their ADD? What can you say that'll give them hope?
I would say be an individual and embrace it. If you're different or you stand out, you know, but have the guts to be who you are.
You're saying to people to have faith in themselves and keep on going?
Of course.
You're really embracing what the essence of being a physician is really all about. I think that anyone hearing what you're saying and watching you would feel comfortable having you as their doctor.
That title of doctor, it's a great accomplishment, and it's I look more at the work that you do and the type of doctor that you are. You're an exceptional just person with the way that you spend hours with your patients, caring about them and talking to them. You're a great role model for a hopeful physician.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
And you'll carry on where I leave off.
That's a big part of it, is that I feel like I am a part of your legacy. When I fought, I was part of my gym's legacy.
People will be part of your legacy.
Well,
because you'll carry on the tradition. I still think that medicine is the noble profession, despite what people say, and you're going to keep going in that. So
thanks, Doc.
go for it.
Appreciate you.